Hello and welcome to another episode of the Never a Straight Answer podcast, the podcast that aims to cover a wide range of topics from conspiracy theories to popular culture and news. I'm your host Gaz, and joining me in the studio, well, we're taking a look back through time, and he's my time-travelling co-host. It's Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, good evening everybody, welcome one and all.
Welcome back new listeners and repeat offenders. Thank you for joining us for another episode.
Oh yeah.
This is week 2 in our birthday Podanniversay look back here at the Never a Straight Answer podcast. So this week we're going to be looking back and revisiting some of our most bizarre topics to see what the hell's going on. We've covered quite a lot of different topics over the last couple of years, and this is just a chance to go over and look back at some of our favourites.
Yeah, with such a big catalogue.
Oh my god, yeah, it's been, I was going back and it's just looking over stuff and trying to pick out good topics, to look at.
Yeah.
And even some of the ones we've got, just too many to choose from.
There's far too many.
But I think we've done alright. I think we've picked out some of my favourites. Yeah. I think we saved the best to last in our birthday bonanza. So before we get up in all that business, we've got a lot coming up in the show.
We have indeed.
So we've got a lot of different topics we're going to be talking about, but we've also got the Never a Straight Answer news.
Yes.
Won't be a What's Fucked Up Where You're From this week.
Yeah.
But we'll be back with that next week, so don't even worry. I had some emails there saying about kind of like other segments, people suggesting segments.
Oh, right. Nice.
Yeah, maybe like, looking at people's own personal paranormal encounters.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Have you had a ghost visitation?
Yeah.
These types of things. I suppose that could be kind of considered what's fucked up where you're from, but I like that. I mean, if you've had any sort of weird encounters, let us know anyway. If you've seen a UFO.
Yeah, we'd love to.
Hit us up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, before we get into the main bulk of the show, it's something I like to ask you. What have you been up to this week, Mr. T?
Oh, well, surprisingly, I've been looking into ley lines.
I thought you were going to say Lego. Go on, ley lines. I'm interested in ley lines myself. Go on, what have you found out? Anything? You must have found out something interesting because you want to brought it up.
Quite a bit, actually. I actually found...
Hit me, drop a knowledge bomb on us, son.
All right, then it seems it's looking like that UFOs follow the ley lines.
So like follow the yellow brick road.
Yeah, they seem to follow the exact lines.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose that's like energy. Because ley lines are reported to have kind of like be a source of energy. I think like pagans use ley lines to kind of enhance and kind of bring about the bit more kind of power in the sorcery.
Yeah,
those types of things. I don't know. Who knows?
Surprisingly as well, some Russian scientists did a survey and discovered that there is 3,300 places at each, and they all join up, and every single place there was a building made.
What, like some sort of temple or structure? Some sort of like power,
some kind of structure,
power enhancement tool of some description. That's interesting. So anything of noteworthy, like anything that was kind of like really cool structures that you've seen, or is it just because Stonehenge and stuff like that?
Well, it all starts with Egypt, doesn't it? Really, with the pyramids.
True.
And then you've got loads of other places around the world. It's the same as like Stonehenge. Stonehenge is on a certain line as well, and if you follow that line, there's actually...
we've talked about the pyramids before, but don't they really line up with like constellations as well? So you're telling me that not only do they line up with sort of like astrology, but they line up with like the ley lines on the earth as well. That's amazing to know that they had that sort of information, or that sort of the brains to kind of put that together.
What surprised me the most of it is that some young kid went away and studied about the Mayan buildings and stuff like that, and they found that they connected to like where stars are formed and stuff like that, and he noticed that one was missing.
Constellations.
Yeah, the one was missing. One was missing in a form. There should have been like 6, and there was only 5 there. So he calculated it out, worked out where the other one should have been,
Isn't this how they
and they found, they reckon they found another pyramid in the jungle that they didn't even realise was there in the first place.
Well, this is what amazes me about science, because this is how they found what was it, Saturn, or one of the planets, one of the planetary bodies, because even though they couldn't witness it with the naked eye or with any of the telescopes at the time, they were able to kind of predict that there should be one there. So it's like, and this is the same sort of thing. It's like, even though they've never seen it, or they haven't kind of found it yet, doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, and they're able to turn around and say, well, if my maths is correct, or my math is correct, then technically speaking, there should be another pyramid or another interplanetary body in this location. And generally speaking, they do tend to find what they're looking for. So,
it's surprising,
it is. I mean, it's all about predictions, really, isn't it? And making correct predictions. So that's quite cool. So, anything up to anything else exciting?
No, apart from that, I've just been, studying in little bits of like UFOs and stuff like that. Yourself, what have you been up to this week?
I've basically been doing a lot of different bits and pieces. I've had a bit of a busy week, bit of a hectic week. I think I've got insomnia as well. I'm not sleeping. I honestly can't get my head down, and then when I do, it's like a couple of hours here and there and all over the place.
Wake up and then you're tossing and turning and
insomniac. Wow. Anyway, but I did catch up on a few bits that I'm meaning to watch. The new Marvel series What If started on Disney Plus. I sound like a Disney shill. Every time I say I've been watching something, it's been on Disney Plus at the moment. But it's the only app I can afford at the minute. Wow, anyway, but it's the one, man. He's like just got Loki, and now this What If started. And if you don't know what it is,
brilliant.
It's like I love. Obviously, we've talked about parallel worlds and the many worlds interpretation and all this sort of stuff, and it plays heavily into that. Whereas if remember that film from the 90s, Sliding Doors? Gwyneth Paltrow, I think a few other people, big actors back at the time, I think. It was about like a decision you make that changes your life drastically. So say, you miss that train, or you get on the train and you see the film from two different perspectives, and one's what would happen if you got to the train station on time and you made the train, and how your life would have turned out. And then if you'd missed the train, everything, the consequences from that. That's kind of what this What If kind of does. It kind of looks at a sort of, what if a certain action would have happened or played out differently in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? How would that have affected things going forward? And I mean, in the first episode just dropped this week on Wednesday, and it basically goes into what would have happened if Steve Rogers didn't become Captain America. And Peggy got in the machine, Agent Carter, and she turned into the super soldier. And how would that have played out?
Wow.
And it was interesting.
Okay then.
Well, it had its ups and downs. I think it was because they were trying to condense the whole of a feature film into a shorter package. It did seem a bit rushed in places. And honestly, based on the trailer footage and all the rest of it, I kind of expected this first episode to be the Captain America, Captain Carter, first Avenger style episode. And I kind of it delivered on what I expected it. I think we're going to get into a bit more of the crazy sort of, wow, that's mind-blowing tackle a bit further down the line. And there is about 9 episodes, so that'll be good. I'm hoping that we do, because, I mean, you've got to look at it like anything's possible. Yeah, you can go anywhere with it.
Go too far.
Well, no, I like the fact that you go too far. I think the further the better. I mean, it's original. It's
don't get me.
It's not a rehash of something we've already seen, or a sequel or a prequel or anything like that. We take it, even though you know these stories and you kind of know what the mythology and the kind of origins are. It's, what if one thing changed, and how would that have played out? And I think in terms of like physics and like parallel universes and stuff like that, it's quite interesting, because Have you never thought there must be like, if this is true, there's going to be like millions of versions of yourself.
Yeah.
And I'd like to think that there's one at least who's doing a lot better than me, or on the flip side, there could be someone doing a hell of a lot worse. So,
Well, yeah, you got to have the ups and downs, haven't you, really?
So it's quite interesting. It does go into a lot of that sci-fi stuff. If you like it, check it out. Yeah. Do you believe you watched the Suicide Squad as well this week?
I did, yeah. I watched it yesterday.
James Gunn, man, honestly, I mean, he can do it. I think when it comes to team up movies, he's got it bang on. And I think like with this version of the Suicide Squad, even
better than the first,
bringing back the same actors in the same roles, there was a lot of quality kind of talent there. And I don't want to give you too many spoilers, but
because there's
a couple of characters where you think, wow, I mean, I like that actor. I'd really like to see how this plays out with him in the role, and then it's just like game over.
Yeah.
But the film is called Suicide Squad, isn't
that
it?
Is true. But I do like that, especially at the beginning. I do like the way they've set it up, and like they have done it in a better way. And great director.
I think in terms of me and me DC movies, I like the DC comics over the Marvel comics, but I think Marvel make a better movie.
Yeah, I've been very disappointed
and I've not
with
been
DC.
Too happy with the DC properties when they've come to film, and I think in terms of like top movies DC have made, I think this is up there because I think it's a bit more original.
I agree.
And
that and the new Justice League one.
Oh, the Snyder version.
Yeah, the Snyder version. I did like that, but it's just going to be a shame if it doesn't carry on from there, to be honest. I mean, it's sort of one of them that I'm not going to watch it again unless they make a follow-on movie, which I
follow on to that exact story. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well,
well, we're not here to talk movies, but although we do enjoy them,
we do.
Yeah,
we do.
enjoy a good
bloody
flick.
lot of them lately. Yeah,
I know. Yeah, I've been to keep telling him to watch Book of Eli. I sounded proper Mancunian then. Book of Eli.
Yeah, a bit of Eli.
All right. Yeah, because that's a great film. But anyway, like I say,
I've been meaning to do it. I will do it one.
Paranormality magazine have nominated us for a podcast award.
Yes.
So I hope you all take a moment to just go over there and bung us a vote.
Yeah, it only takes
We're
a couple
up
of
for
minutes.
the best UFO podcast.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I
Thank you for the nomination. It's pretty awesome. We really appreciate it.
Oh, hell yeah.
And we'll leave a link in the description. It doesn't take you 2 seconds. It's literally ticking a box and clicking submit. It's dead easy. We'd really appreciate a win on this one.
Yeah. We've had a few trophies come our way, but then
I know. Yeah. Do you know what? My self-esteem's at an all-time low. I could do with a win.
Yeah.
Come on,
make us a winner.
Anyway,
at least
it's all good. Thank you for being nominated. All the same, it's really amazing. Thank you. If you want to help us out or you want to get involved with the show, you know what to do. You can send us an email because we love your suggestions. We love your comments. We love positivity.
Yes, we do.
And I don't like that. It's not that I don't take on board criticism. Yeah. It's constructive criticism that I prefer. Yeah, right.
That's true.
Just trolling us isn't constructive. Do you know what I mean? And if you think we can do something better, then approach us in a positive way, and we'll approach you back.
We will.
But obviously, if you've got any suggestions, you've got an idea for a what are they called now? Segment or topic or anything like that.
Yeah.
Or you think that you'd be a good guest.
Yeah.
Get in touch on the email at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com or hit us up on social media. It's all good fun. And we've had some really good sort of feedback from guests, haven't we? In terms of how we work with guests and interview them and all the rest of it. So
we've had a good load of guests. Enjoyed every single one of them.
We'll be talking a bit more about our guests coming up a bit later on, actually. But you can. There's a number of ways you can get involved. You can hit us up on Patreon. You can become an agent, a special agent, or beyond top secret. We've got a few tiers there.
We have.
And they all offer different perks.
They do.
I think there's some actually really good perks there, in fact.
Yeah, beyond top secret, definitely.
Oh, aye. So, yeah, really cool. Like I say, we do have a lot of what's fucked up where you're from's been submitted.
Yeah.
I just need to go through them. So we will be coming back next week with that. I thought last week's was really cool. Thank you to the girls for, over. I forget where they're from. Where were they from? San Diego.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be back next week visiting somewhere else to see what's going on in their neck of the woods.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, it's our birthday. It was our birthday on the 12th.
It was.
Which made us 3 years old. We'd graduated from being just
that little nipper.
Undergraduate.
Yeah, now we're nappies.
Undergraduate podcasters. I feel like we've graduated into the, the pros.
Yeah, big boy pants, mate. Big boy pants.
Okay, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think, going back and having a look at some of our previous topics is a good idea because, obviously, we have covered quite a lot of different topics, haven't we?
We have indeed.
I mean, we covered a lot last week. Yeah, so if you listen to last week's show, you'll know that we went over certain topics that we've enjoyed from year one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, this year, this episode, we're going to look at more of a broad range. We saved some of the better topics for this episode because like I say, we've had some pearlers.
Yeah.
One in particular that is my favourite, and you know what? I feel like I'm becoming an expert on this guy now.
Okay.
John Titor.
Oh yes, you do love a bit of John Titor.
You can't not like John Titor.
Yeah, he's all right, fella.
Well, is he a liar? This is the thing, you see, because John Titor was a guy who claimed to be a time traveller. He posted on Art Bell's Coast to Coast AM forums initially. Oh no, he sent him faxes, didn't he?
That's right.
Saying that he was a time traveller and
here's a little bit of info, here's a little bit here, and then he got he went on there, didn't he, and had a good conversation with him.
Yeah, I mean, he did. So the first posts of John Titor's basically appeared on a time travel forum, or basically it was Coast to Coast, but he said he was from the Time Travel Institute. Yeah. And claimed that he was a time traveller from the future, where they were having problems.
Yeah.
He'd been instructed to come back to a certain time period, 2000, and collect an IBM computer.
That's right.
Which would be necessary for him to boot up his other computers in the future.
Yeah, to reset everything in there.
The funny thing was, the reason why he said that he wanted this certain IBM computer was because he claimed that it had a secret function that meant that it could talk to other computers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, IBM never released that information.
No, it's top secret,
So that only came out years later, which meant that it was rather somebody who was in the know and worked for IBM or somewhere like that, or he was genuinely a time traveller. Now, he ended up posting actual blueprints of his
the
time machine on
which...
these forums, and he did kind of communicate with people for a long time.
And people have actually gone out there and tried to make this machine, but there's just... It just seems like there's a tweak here or there that needs to be dealt
it
with.
was the IBM 5100 computer.
Right, yeah.
Now, the thing with it was that you'd think over so many years that this time machine, the blueprints that he provided, now if it was some other machine that he just thought, well, that'll do, I'll rip these documents off and I'll put them forward as my machine.
Yeah.
That somebody would have been able to kind of go, no, actually, that's a toaster oven.
Yeah, because
that's something else. You know, and identify it.
Yeah.
But nobody's ever been able to identify this machine.
No.
Now, he says it was able to put in the back of a car, and it meant he was mobile, he could drive around, time travel, do what he's wanted. I think he was from 2036.
That's right.
When...
and there was issues. There was major issues apparently in our future.
It's an interesting story. Like I say, we've done a couple of episodes on John.
Yeah, because
we found out, we just keep finding out more and more, and I think it's such an interesting tale.
And how it works through time as well, because we were having conversations about was he leaping because you couldn't go back to the timeline that you actually.
He said there was a variation of kind of like if he obviously if he came back in time, changed something when he went back, it wouldn't be the time period, it wouldn't be the reality that he left behind.
Yeah.
And it'd always be like, even if he didn't change anything, there'd always be a difference of 1 or 2%.
Yeah,
that's right. So I think with the whole thing, the thing that impressed me with John, right, or the story of John is he was so open with his information. So he'd say, "Well, I'll tell you anything you want, but I won't tell you any, I'm not going to tell you who won on a sporting event. I'm not going to give you any information that
so you can earn out of
that helps you profiteer or gain, get successful with knowledge of the future."
Yeah.
Get the power. But he was very open in the sense that he told them what the situation was, why he was there, all the rest of it. One thing that really interested me was the fact that he claimed to be living with his parents.
Yeah,
He found his mother and father, knocked on the door and said, "I am your son from the future," and they bought it and let him move in.
Yeah, which is mad.
He says that he even was around with a version of himself as a baby, and there's like some paradox shit going on there. I don't know how that would even work.
There? Yeah,
it's like matter meeting antimatter.
So then, does that mean if it's true what's happened there, that some of the information that we believe and follow is actually false? It could be.
Who knows? I mean, this guy. I mean, there's been lots of people come forward and say the whole John Titor tale was a hoax, dreamt up by some very clever people. But
there's always that chance. But at the end of the day, there's always the chance that he could.
There's actually been people as well who've come forward and said that they're John Titor, and John Titor's kind of like an alias, a bit like Bond.
Yeah,
like James Bond, and even though you're not the John Titor that you spoke to last time,
CIA agent.
I am still John Titor.
Yeah.
Another one was the fact that he just disappears. Do you know what I mean? He just disappeared off the face of the earth again. So I mean, I don't know. What do you reckon to it?
I reckon that. I think we missed the opportunity of someone at that time to get close and find out more details to actually bring if it was true or not.
How do you know they didn't, though? I mean, how do you know
he wasn't forward?
How do you know the authorities didn't that is true. Get information from him? I don't know. I mean,
he could have been taken and put in, government facilities.
Well, I think whatever it was, I mean, he said that he was posting posts on these forums as messages to himself or other time agents.
Yeah, because then he said
that might need, sort of signposts.
So then we're expected, then, in that case, to have more agents
where are they all?
Coming in.
Where are they all? That's what I mean. It's like...
something might have gone wrong with the IBM computer.
It's like I was talking about with, parallel universes and stuff like that, and if there's multiple options and multiple sort of worlds where anything's possible, then surely there's a version of me who's capable of creating a machine that could interdimensional travel and visit us here tonight.
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
true. Yeah.
No, he's not here.
No,
right, it's not. No. I'm not here. Yeah. So how?
Yeah, but what if he pops up tonight when you're asleep?
Wakes me up.
Yeah.
Say, stick kettle on, bro.
yeah. Excuse me, I'm just off for 5 minutes.
I hope you brought some milk.
Yeah.
Well, he should know that because if he's from the future, especially.
That is true. He might not use milk then.
Any topics that we've covered that you've kind of thought that's such a good topic?
Oh well, you got to think of the X, man. The Planet X.
Planet X. This was a big one for you. When we started the podcast, Taylor was obsessed with Planet X. I mean, didn't you think that it would have hit us by now?
See, the thing was there was actual satellite imaging that you could that NASA have got out there, and you can actually see. And there was things going on that interpreted that there was things were going wrong.
Do you not think this could be? Oh yeah, because we were talking about Planet X, and you were the way you were describing it, and kind of was like we're having kind of problems in space and things.
Yeah, there was weird stuff about.
I mean, you could even go as far as we're having kind of crazy weather, right? And how an interplanetary body coming into our neck of the woods could be a cause of it to an extent, like tidal shifts and stuff like that. I mean, it's a balancing act at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
and the information from past history in different areas as well that shouldn't have known certain things, like the star maps and that it shows that there's something there. And plus, scientists yet again, they did start having a look out into our solar system and going, actually, there are rocks and that moving in the void. But then they've turned around and gone, oh no, it's because of this. But now they're coming out again and saying, actually, there may be a Planet 9 there, you know.
Well,
maybe.
I think that, you know, the hypothesis is that there's a Neptune-sized planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it orbits the sun. Yeah, but it's in a different orbit to us. It's in an elongated orbit.
Well, this is another thing, because most of the planets do that over one side.
Well, we're in an elliptical orbit, I think, is what they call it. And then what they're trying to say is that these other planets that are still orbiting the sun, but if you imagine we're all on a record player going round and round the sun, now imagine another record player stood up on its side, right? Yeah. And it's going the opposite way, right? Now, you know, up and over rather than round about. Now, that planet, they reckon, doesn't come close enough to the sun very often. So
32,000
every couple of 100,000 years or whatever, this planet will come into our solar system.
And then
orbit the sun and go back up, and you won't see it again for ages. And this is what the conspiracy theory. This is the Planet 9, if you like, or Planet X.
Planet X.
Or Nibiru. Comes from. And but it makes me wonder, you see, and I don't know if we talked about this during that show, but do you not think that there was obviously something that happened here in our universe many moons ago, where we, talking about moons, maybe created our moon? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why Mars is a dead planet now, when there's total evidence of it being a living planet with lots of, you know, like life on it and water running and oceans and lakes and whatnot.
There's mountain proofs coming out.
Could that be evidence enough to say that this Planet 9 or Planet X came through, caused a load of destruction, and fucks off again?
Possible, because
this is the aftermath of it, and we can see that something's happened, but we don't know exactly what it was, because we don't have anything to say, well, it was that.
Well, in fact, there was a planet between us and Mars, which that's why there's a belt around full of meteorites there waiting. But somehow that was destroyed, and they reckoned it was Mars. Now, Mars has got a massive scar, but it looks like a thin things that, you know, hit it, not like a round thing. And plus, it could give reason why that come round, and that could have hit it and like started the next process of it when it come round again for the Anunnaki to actually turn up, and, you know, supposedly the story goes that they needed the gold from Earth to sort their atmosphere out, and it could only come round like once every 3,200 years. So it was
36,000,
so it's a case of well, they were here, they're getting the gold, and then they're buggering off, and then when they come back round again. But there's
who knows? I mean, the name Nibiru originated from the ancient Sumerians, who kind of inhabited ancient Mesopotamia. That's right. That's modern day Iraq. If you don't know, Nibiru was actually also called Marduk.
Yes, that's right.
It arrived in our solar system with an extreme clockwise elliptical orbit.
That's right.
So it does have an elongated, but it's sort of.
It's sort of weird. It's like you saying on the record player. Now imagine all the planets go around the sun on one side, and then you've got this one that does it on the other side, the opposite side, and that's a kind of strange elliptic. Why only one is going out that way and every other one is going to the right hand side? Well, one's going to the left. Why does that happen when it should be that everything shouldn't be in a clockwork organisation, but it seems that our solar system is, and it shouldn't be.
It's funny, isn't it? Well, that all comes back down to your gravity, I suppose, and like what's pulling bigger objects, pulling smaller objects in.
Yeah. Don't forget, it's getting.
But then again, why does this Planet 9, when it gets closer to the sun, not get pulled in with the rest of them? Or that it's able to kind of swing round and go away for another 36,000 years.
Because maybe the gravity, the pull from all the other planets in the solar system allow it to be sprung back.
So the solar system's like basically acting as one big object rather than
a
lot of small ones. Maybe, who knows? I mean, it's an interesting topic.
It is, and I've been off it for a while. I've been looking more into the Anunnaki and that kind of area, but I haven't really looked into the planet lately, to be honest. I did have a look a couple of months back, but I didn't really
it's quite an interesting one. If you know anything about it, let us know. Denver Airport.
Now
the Denver Airport conspiracy is legendary. I love the Denver Airport conspiracy, and I love the fact that they play on it as well. When they're doing any sort of work on the airport, they go, "Oh, we're building a new tunnel for our overlords or whatever." It's quite funny. Now, the Denver International Airport opened in 1995. A couple of years late, after spending billions of dollars going over budget.
Yeah, because they didn't need it, did they? Because there was one down the road, literally 5 miles down the road.
Literally 2 miles down the road, there's another airport. They really didn't need it. No. But it has got a lot of conspiracy theories. I think it started when they dug a big pit.
That's right.
Built a load of buildings inside it, and then pretended that they'd done an accident. We shouldn't have built those buildings there. Let's cover them up. Creating some underground structure.
Start off.
There's been conspiracy theories going from lizard people to kind of hauntings, aliens. Conspiracies that the New World Order have got a base under there, that they're going to be able to control everyone from underneath the Denver airport.
To be honest, can we really call it conspiracy theory now? Because I would have thought by now we could call it conspiracy
full
fact.
Operation. And now it's weird because, nobody... they spent a lot of money on it.
Yeah, a lot of visitors as well.
There's a lot of symbolism about kind of the New World Order. There's evidence to suggest that it was like the Masons who kind of had a hand in building the place.
Yeah.
As well as kind of...
Got markings all over the place of people dying or Nazi soldiers.
Not only that... The murals I'll get into in a minute, but there's obviously the compass and the set square.
That's right.
The Freemason symbols that have been seen there on a plaque. Also, like you say, this art that's kind of throughout the airport is crazy. You've got like this sort of these murals that depict an apocalyptic scene with, people in gas masks. Which I'm not being funny, but there's obviously a bit of a thing going on there. I mean, this was
been busy
a lot before then. Then you've got this sort of all these races and kind of religions coming together under a new religion. Going all hand in hand into the new world. It doesn't sound scary. Sounds quite lovely, but it's what needs to, exactly. That's what I was about to say. What's going to happen to get to that point. What do they need to achieve in order for us to be able to go forward with this new world order plan? It's quite scary. I mean, one of the other things is like the steed.
You know what? I was just going to say
the statue of the
which is
this blue, like sort of fiery horse or like sort of Mustang.
I think it was called Luther.
Is it?
It's called Luther, because I was looking into stuff about... Because I remember actually on when I was looking at this, that I was looking into the symbolisation of the devil and stuff like that, because Saturn is one, the bull in America is one, the square is one as well. So's actually the cross on the churches is another. There's loads of different symbolisations.
So, I mean, we talked a minute ago about a plaque. So the plaque that they put in is basically is full of symbolism. It gives a load of information about the airport, but it does have the Freemason sign on it, symbol on it. Inscribed into the rock,
and it does have a written New World Order as well.
It does, and it basically says there's underneath the plaque there's a time capsule, and it says not to be opened until 2094 to the people of Colorado. Okay. What's in there? Some
now that they know they're going to be there,
pathogens. So I don't know. The cure. Yeah, maybe.
Cure to everything.
Who knows, man? That's a movie. I love that. But yeah, I mean, the whole place is steeped in kind of like conspiracy.
Yeah.
Now,
a lot of facts all come out of there, though. This is the thing.
I think the artist, Lucius, is it Gisner?
Oh, right.
Or Jimsma is the artist of the Mustang.
Okay.
Which he says was inspired by the Mexican murals with clashing colours. Do you know, like...
Yeah, the blue. Yeah,
blue and the reds and the kind of that sort of thing.
It's kind of smart.
I mean, it's cool.
It's
very
cool.
You know, it's definitely
very deafish though as well.
It's what I'd expect to see on a metal album cover.
Yeah.
Do you know, like
not in front of an airport.
Not in front of an airport.
No. Yeah, you wouldn't expect that kind of stuff. I mean, it's the same as CERN. CERN's got that she god. She's a destructor of everything, and it's like, well, why have you got that kind of symbol in front of CERN?
It's crazy because, like, they use, like I say, they do use the conspiracy sort of feeling to their advantage. So in all of the marketing and stuff like that, they end up using what people already have these preconceptions of what's going on there. Yeah, so they use it. So like I say, there's been advertisements when they put boards up, when they're doing extra work in the airport and they're extending or doing extra maintenance. They put these boards up saying, don't worry, we're just building a new wing for our alien overlords or stuff like that.
Yeah.
One of them, Denver Airport, we're creating the world's greatest airport or preparing for the end of the world. Like, and they've got like a picture of the Mustang shooting laser beams out of its eyes.
Yeah,
and I mean,
right.
I mean, I would as well. I mean, but also, is it because I mean the Masons and if you look into all this stuff, they do tend to have a history of telling you up front,
basically.
They'll be telling you up front, but it's almost like they're mocking you.
Right.
But like hiding in plain sight, if you like. So wolf in sheep's clothing. They're basically saying, well, are we doing this or are we doing that? And having a bit of a joke about it
and seeing what our response is to see if we could try and stop it. And most of the time,
it makes you think, doesn't it? Could it be that that they are using this?
Well, there's massive tunnels behind the back, isn't there? The underground there. There's and since that building was made as well, there was quite a lot of UFO investigators come forward.
People do claim that when Denver Airport was built, there was also a network of tunnels, secret bunkers and buildings constructed under the surface. They don't lie about that. I mean, they said that they built these buildings by accident and basically used them as storage. Others will suggest that the tunnels, bunkers house some sort of sinister things, alien life forms, or even like an area for controlling the world once everything goes to shit.
Tits up, that's right.
Who knows? I mean, it's like only these people know. But there was a surge in people buying properties over in Denver.
Rich people as well, and they've moved over there now. A lot of them have moved over.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. Yeah. And surprisingly enough, there was a fella called Phil Snyder who actually come forward about this kind of digging tunnels underneath because
there is tunnels. So it's not a big secret that there are tunnels there. There is a network of tunnels around 470,000 square feet of them.
Yeah.
In fact. They're used by around 1,000 people a day ferrying luggage around plane baggage areas, and they say they're just used for general airport business.
No, well, why would you need the room for? You could fit in
470,000 square feet is a lot of space.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and it's not just there; it continues as well. It's not just it's interconnected to like thousands of miles around America, especially. There's like loads of tunnels. You'd be surprised.
Did you realise as well the runways? Right, if you look at the runways from the air, they are in the shape of a swastika.
Ah, yes, and the same in Washington. In fact, in Washington, if you look in the air, there are certain parts, and it gives you the devil's symbol as well.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. There's
another base we looked into, which I thought was mega bizarre, was the Dolce base.
Yes, I love the Dolce base.
I mean,
it's 7 layers.
When we do
of
bases,
weirdness.
I always find these really fascinating because I love subterranean stuff. I love underground bunkers, bases, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and it's like when we covered the Dolce base, seems so long ago now.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
it was like that was another level. In fact, 7 levels, and it almost reminded me of like Dante's Inferno. You know, the layers of hell, if you like, because of the shady shit and the kind of the craziness that was going on deep in the bowels of this base. Now, I think some people would say that this base doesn't even exist, but like, you know, for decades, ufologists have claimed that extraterrestrials, experiments on humans, military, loads of top secret stuff has been going on in this base in New Mexico.
Yes.
So, you know,
and Phil Snyder was actually the one that was one of the first to break through on it because he was, like I was saying, he was a digger for the military to dig tunnels, and he in there and had a little space fight there.
Apparently, they had like a bit of a, it was a bit of a species, alien species war, weren't they?
He was the only survivor, and then when he come out and was telling people a few years later, because he'd been shot by like a laser beam.
Yeah, because Phil Schneider, he claimed that he was like a former government engineer who claimed to have been helping build the Dolce base in New Mexico back in 1979. He claimed that he and others encountered aliens during the construction, but the military service members engaged them in gun battle.
But it was like 60 odd like soldiers that got involved in there, and he was the only one, and actually a soldier helped him out. And then when he come out and started talking, then he so-called suicide.
There is a base there. There is a military base. Now, there's just been a lot of kind of reports of witnesses of alien crafts coming in and out. People who've worked there, helping build it. You know, I don't know. I mean,
if it's not that, there's something going on there, and you know.
Now, stories have been coming out since the mid-70s.
Yeah, that's
you know. Even kind of people from, you know, locals, New Mexico state troopers have kind of had the encounters. And, it's been a bit of a hotbed for kind of UFO and alien activity.
Yeah,
a lot of people say that it is kind of like a Area 51 style venue.
Yeah, their base, not ours.
Do you think it's their base?
Yeah, because at first when I heard the reports, it was like on like about level 4. That's when the aliens and humans stood together and worked side by side. But I heard other reports afterwards saying that actually it wasn't we were looking after them. It was that they was telling us and showing us what to do.
Right,
they were authority over us.
He was also in the area around about the 80s. There was a lot of cattle mutilation.
Yeah,
so they were finding often
continues to this day.
Blamed on UFOs in the Colorado and New Mexico border.
Well, it's all about the way they've been cut. I mean, the uterus has been cut out, and like the nose, certain bits, and there was no spill of blood or anything like that. And it looks like as well that they get carried up to a height and then dropped, but then there's no blood, there's nothing there. It's dried clean. 2 incisions, it's dried clean, and things cut out. That perfect surgeon.
Well, if you want to go and check out the episode itself, we go into major in depth with that one. It's a good episode, that one of our earlier ones as well. Makes me think of Skinwalker Ranch with the
that's
with
just
the
an amazing
mutilations
place.
and stuff like that, though.
It's even going on now. The stuff that's going on there at the minute is just unbelievable. It's just, I think that basically the government have closed it down to put all their investigations into it at the moment.
What's a Skinwalker, Taylor?
Well, I'll let you explain.
Oh, come on, mate.
Want a skinwalker like an animal kind of?
It is. It's almost like it's like a
sort of like werewolf, but he doesn't turn into human. It stays as a. It can move on its own back legs. So
so he's kind of like a wolf, if you like, isn't it? So also known as a Sherman. Also known as Sherman Ranch. The property is located about 512 acres southeast of Utah. I think the Skinwalker Ranch has been known for a lot of different things. It's been known for UFO sightings, skinwalkers. So basically, skinwalkers in legend, according to the Navajo, is like a medicine man. He has the highest level of sort of like priesthood in the tribe, and he uses his powers for evil by taking the form of an animal to inflict pain and suffering on others. So skinwalkers, like in terms of like, you know, going out and just causing shit and ripping up cattle and being generally naughty boys out in the fucking wilderness. But Skinwalker Ranch itself it's not just UFOs, is it?
No,
it's hauntings, it's UFOs.
Even underlining things like they've done
like
an
poltergeists.
experiment. There's like spirit lines and stuff like that.
Anything that could go on at Skinwalker Ranch.
Radiation. Someone was looking down a hole and he had a massive burst of radiation, and that wasn't that long ago. They were even considering pulling back off the ranch because of it. And they've had UFOs lately spotted. They've also had a dog-like creature that's been.
Would you say that might have been a skinwalker?
I think it might be. I think they would put it as a skinwalker. And then, like you said, you had the ghosts and the spirits within the houses.
They've also had
like
sort of like shadowy people, but also like kind of transparent. You know, like, so they've been beings or people witnessed in the woods or around the ranch.
Yeah, that makes me think kind of like kind of thing.
Yeah, but it kind of reminds me of like Predator. Do you know,
exactly.
If you were to kind of see, you could see something, but you can't. They're a bit invisible, but almost like looking through water. Like, I don't know. There's quite a lot.
There's a lot. It's like a perfect ground for an investigation into any kind of mystery, really, because they've got all of it in one place.
Okay, so I mean, Skinwalker Ranch, if you can actually go on the website and watch the live stream videos.
You can't go on the ranch now, though.
You can't physically go on the ranch.
Because people have actually gone on there, even who've owned it and that, and actually been attacked. There actually is evidence of people being victims.
What? How do you mean?
Of attacks, like being attacked by the dogs, or being attacked by at night, you know, sleeping, and then all of a sudden you've got a massive scratch down the side of you and you didn't know where it's come from.
This happens a lot in paranormal investigations and stuff, where people kind of like they're getting scratched up or like you know, clawed, or find themselves with
someone's knocking on the door or walking up your
marks because like they think somebody's kind of.
There was even
attacked him, if you like.
Not that long ago as well, there was even a car that it looked like a car was driving up towards him and then turned round and then went. But when they went, the
way car,
the actual lights went the other way, the side of him, different sides. So it split off.
It was motorbikes. That was it. Two motorbikes.
What the fuck? Yeah.
I've seen cartoons. That's what always happens.
Yeah.
It could have been the Mandela effect.
It could have been that. That was
the Mandela effect's a weird one, right? If you believe in the Mandela effect, right. I mean, I'm a time travel geek. I love all this. And the idea that these things are happening because somebody's gone and tampered. And the butterfly effects and like changing things
changing
or
history.
whatever.
I mean,
changing history. So the Mandela effect refers to a situation where a large mass of people believe that an event has occurred or didn't.
Yes.
And they basically look at it and say,
they did.
Do you remember this being like this? And everyone goes, no, I don't. Or they do. Yeah. And then you get this 50-50 split of people who believe one thing happened one way against another way. Now, we've got a couple of examples.
I can guess what
the main reason why they call it the Mandela effect is because of Nelson Mandela.
That's right.
So
the man was set free.
So, yeah, but exactly right. So Nelson Mandela obviously was, kept in a prisoner of war camp in South Africa back in the 1980s.
Yeah.
However, Nelson Mandela didn't die in prison.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, but a lot of people remember him dying in prison.
And I do remember...
I remember him being released. I remember
him being released, but I also remember...
I remember the song... Free Nelson Mandela.
A little younger, but I do recall something of like Mandela dying in the prison. And that's why.
You see, this is it. A lot of people do think. You know what I mean? But this is what I was saying. I mean, it's like how when you're you were younger back then, 1980s.
Yeah, it was only
you were probably not absorbing the news as much as you do nowadays. Yeah, so you might have been like kind of coming in for your tea, running in for your fish fingers. Yeah, and just caught Nelson Mandela, blah, 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 on the telly. Yeah, and in your subconscious mind, you've seen him in these fucking dire situation in a fucking bamboo cage or whatever, and you're thinking that guy's dying in there.
Yeah, but my main one wasn't Mandela. My main one was the poor Chinese fella who got run over. I knew you was going to say,
you say the Tiananmen Square man, right? The tank man.
Yeah.
Right, Taylor still believes that this guy was run over.
I do.
He wasn't, right? Now,
supposedly.
The thing is, right, if you know your history on this, it was the Red Square the day before, not Red Square, was it? Is it Red Square?
Tiananmen Square.
Tiananmen Square, yeah. Tiananmen Square, right? Yeah, but it wasn't there. I think they basically, the day before that incident with the tank man, right, there was a massacre, right?
Yeah.
Now, that was the day when they were doing the fucking bad shit, right? They only just rolled in on this occasion, and this guy had had enough. He was coming back from his shopping, and he stood in front of the tank and halted the tank. Now, everyone believes, or there's a lot of people who believe that tank ran him over and killed him.
I'm one of them.
It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't seen again, right? But...
Yeah, but supposedly when this report come out,
he climbed on the tank. He climbed on the tank. He was on the tank. He didn't get run over
supposedly
by it. He
still
was
alive.
Stood on it.
Supposedly still alive.
I hope he is, because the guy's a legend. But what I'm saying is...
Not what I remember.
It's he halted the tank. He climbed up on the tank. He wasn't run over, but... Some people believe it, and if you believe that was what happened, you need to go and do another history class. But
no, I don't.
I mean, this Mandela effect, it does cause a lot of arguments in terms of what people believe happened.
What happened,
it's like there's a lot of kind of examples of the Mandela effect.
Yeah, next you'd be saying JFK didn't get shot.
So people have this memory of a painting of Henry VIII eating a turkey leg.
Yes.
Have you ever seen this painting?
I remember.
Is this not a case of that people have made parodies or
it could have been?
It's a case of that when people have done a comedy sort of depiction of Henry VIII, they've done him as this big fat guy eating a turkey leg.
Yeah, they always do him as a big fat guy.
Exactly, right. But I mean, in terms of like historical, genuine paintings from the era of Henry VIII, that painting doesn't exist.
Now, you know what? I reckon what's happened here is someone's, like they've done, talking about history, and someone's put one of these paintings up, maybe for a joke or something like that on a programme, and it's run a couple of times, and you might have seen it in the background but not realise it, like the...
Oh, I remember. I can see this painting in my mind's eye.
I can.
And he stood there
with his left hand with
his turkey up against his face. Yeah,
that's right.
Right, and I have seen it.
Yeah,
but it's not.
It's not an official painting.
Cartoons have been created since, but that painting never actually existed.
So then, why is that in our minds?
Because I think it's just a depiction of the character, and in a spoof sort of caricature way. Would you you know, it's like you've got this guy who's, you know, a gluttonous king.
No,
you know.
Well, but then it's more like cakes and stuff like that. I would imagine him, or with a full chicken ripping his fucking head off.
I mean, there could have been so many different like variations, but this turkey leg.
That's stuck. It. Why is it a turkey leg?
It's just the iconic version that some for unknown reasons is stuck in people's minds.
Yeah.
As much as the tennis girl scratching a bum.
Yeah.
Or,
that is a mint picture, mate. That is
you know, it's not. It's just it was so mass produced that it's stuck in the psyche of people.
So famous that picture,
and
man.
it's like this idea of Henry VIII eating a turkey leg,
Get a lot of money
even though
for
it
that
didn't
picture
exist. We've seen so many sort of depictions of it in one way or other, or cartoons, or
well, then it must have been produced
like that.
And then they can't say...
Yeah, I know, but that's what they're getting at. It's like people believe that there is a legitimate painting from the time period of Henry VIII eating his turkey leg.
Yeah.
Do you know, like it was going to be hung up in the fucking palace or whatever.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
then why especially
we could talk
80s
about
kids
this all night.
Or 80s people believe they've seen it more?
What's that?
Why back in... it's a fucked up thing.
Do you know people don't believe that the New Zealand is where they say it is?
Yeah.
So where New Zealand is in relation to Australia. So if you look at the map, you will see that it's in the southeast of the country. Southeast of the country. However, the community of people who claim to remember New Zealand being in the northeasterly instead of the southeasterly side of Australia.
Yeah.
So they're saying it's in the wrong part. It's on the wrong side of Australia.
Yeah, and I can sort of thingy with that. I can sort of agree and not agree with that. I'm sort of on the wall on that.
I think again, this is down to map makers and globe makers and stuff, because if you look at so if wherever you're selling a map, in the world, so if I'm selling a map in India, India's in the center of the map, because that's who you're selling it to, in England's the centre of the map, but England on a map when we buy one, it'd probably be a bit bigger in representation. Now, even countries, how they have been, the cartographers, when they've done the maps and all the rest of it, when they've originally drawn these maps, they've made certain countries look a lot smaller than they are in real life. So Africa on a map is like a third of the size. Yeah,
because they had towns and stuff like that no other map is got it, so they can turn around and go, that's my map.
Oh, no, I know they do that, but what I'm saying is in terms of the scale of all the countries.
Well, you can't even do it with Google now, can you?
What?
You think about it. Google now, if you have a look 10 years ago, 5 years ago, it looked different to what it does now.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, but what I'm saying is like they make like certain continents bigger on the map or smaller, than they are. So if you were in scale in terms of scale, if you were to say, is Africa to scale on this map compared to England on this map? Yeah, and you'll find that these differences. So in terms of like.
Even though
Africa's
they got
a lot
the scale
smaller, England's been produced a lot bigger,
and it's like, what the?
And it's like, generally speaking, the size of continents on maps for a long time was not correct.
So what you're saying is that
I think it's just a case, and
map.
And like you say, in terms of adding bits, to say that this is my map, you can't copy it, which means there's a discrepancy in the map.
Yeah, there's always at least one.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, well, if you think about it, like, is it down to the people looking at Australia going, where's New Zealand, have been kind of just...
Well, yeah, but
I don't know. There's so many examples of this.
I can see where they're coming from, though. I can
Mandela
picture
effect.
it in either position, and to be of the life of me, I can't even fucking remember.
Well, the origins of the Mandela effect come relating to quantum physics.
Yeah.
There's basically a few ideas about time travel. Basically, people, mixing of timelines.
Yeah, I suppose it could come in the string theory as well.
Worlds colliding. There's a lot of different theories about it. I think majority. I think like this is the explanation I gave in our show when we did a full episode on the Mandela effect. Is more likely to false memories. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's just a case of
High
like
chance.
misremembering a lot of stuff. And your mind's kind of taking over and trying to make those connections.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating stuff, though.
Oh, yeah,
But when it
it
happens
is,
in the
definitely.
group consciousness, that's when it starts getting into the bizarre. Because,
that's a
but
mystery.
then is it a case of that, like, one person remembers it wrongly, and then it's kind of relayed, and they go kind of do remember that vaguely, but
but you got to prompt them to remember
exactly.
it,
That's
and
what I'm
then they
saying.
might not remember
They're
it.
not going to remember it.
You're
If they
prompting
need
them
prompting to remember it, and you're like, yeah, I do remember that vaguely, then that just kind of strengthens your belief in what it is
whatever
was
the item
right
was,
in the when you told them about it. So yeah, it's quite an interesting.
And every
one.
time you remember as well, don't forget, over time, you forget, you misremember. So what you remembered the last time you thought of something,
Sounds like a primary school teacher. Misremember.
It's that there's loads of little facts like that in the episode, actually.
Yeah, check it out. I mean, if you want to go and check out any of the episodes, they're all available in our feed. Go back and listen. It's all good stuff.
It is. I think our best episode.
What's that?
Our most viewed episode would be.
What was that?
I think that was Flat Earth, wasn't it?
Oh, God, yeah. It is and it isn't, right? It's funny, the Flat Earth one.
It is.
Right? Because on YouTube, right, we posted the exact same episode, the Flat Earth, with David Weese, wasn't it?
That's right.
It's a great guest. Thank you for coming on, David. I think we'll get you back on at some point in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Was interesting because the YouTube community, like, it was smashing it. I think we had about 1,500 downloads in a couple of days, or views on that video in a couple of days. On the podcast stream, it was just performed as well as any other episode, to be honest. In terms of ideas about what people believe going into, like, the shape of the planet, I'm still a baller.
I'm afraid I am.
I still believe that the Earth is a sphere. I think it's been proven in a lot of ways.
I think certain things can't happen without it being a circle.
The flat Earth, I don't want to kind of... I mean, I'm still open to be proven wrong, and this is the thing. I think now, if you can go out and prove it, I think there's a lot of just argumentativeness about this sort of topic where... there's a lot of people trying to say, "Oh, I'll give you $100,000 if you can prove me wrong." They get proven wrong, and then they don't pay up. I don't know. The flat Earth, to me, it's one of those topics that it's nonsense in a lot of ways. You need to kind of look at it as a topic that's.
Yeah, but I can say
a lot of people are interested in it,
I can understand why they look into it as well, because like there are certain things that it's weird on this shouldn't be happening or this should be happening. So the conclusion is it must be straight. So they're thinking outside the box, but also thinking of what could be there.
Well, the flat Earth obviously relates to the shape of the Earth. Is it a flat plane, a disc? Or is it a sphere? It goes back to like Greece, ancient Greece, in the classical period, like 323 BC, and the Bronze Age, and even the Iron Age civilizations kind of felt like it could have been a flat thing. But over the years, obviously, it's been proven that it's kind of.
I've never heard of a ship falling off the edge of the Earth yet.
Never yet. Once.
Not yet.
Never once. You'd think we'd get pulled off as well, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
We had all these floods.
Yeah.
So I think the idea of the flat Earth is quite getting quite popular again. Yeah.
It is.
Now I do appreciate what they say in a lot of ways in terms of like they've got a passion for it, but and the idea that you can't believe everything you were taught in school because like stuff changes, science changes. Right, I mean, we, like I say, we were told that Pluto was a planet. They declassified it,
and now they may classify it as a planet.
We get told one thing, and then they change it, and like it's
they like to mix the bowl all the time.
The proof is in the pudding, and they go, oh yeah, well we've looked at it a bit more, and we decided that was wrong. Right? Yeah. So it's not within the realms of possibility that some things taught to kids in school could be wrong. Yeah, right.
Definitely.
I think this is an extreme one. I don't think this could be,
Yeah, but until someone who's got power, influence, and money.
Didn't Jeff Bezos check it out when he was up there?
And what did he come down with?
A boner, probably.
Yeah, probably. Well, he come back, didn't he? Yeah, so I think on their side, which I'm not, I think there are people out there who believe. I know there's famous people out there who believe it and stuff like that, and it's like, yeah, well, then put your money where your mouth is and prove it.
Yeah, but this is it. It's like there's a lot of YouTubers who actively go out and try and watch they watch the Flat Earth videos and they listen to the conversations.
Yeah,
and then they're not being dicks, but they'll go, look, right, I've just listened to what you've had to say. I've watched your video. I've watched your Flat Earth Society stuff, and here's where you're going wrong, right? And they'll answer all of the questions. Now, a lot of the time, you get people going, oh, and here you go with this again. Yeah, like, so they know what they're going to tell them. Yeah, they know that they've been like, they're going to come out with this idea of the globe Earth, and they're going to come out with this, and they're going to come out with that. So you've heard it, you know what they're talking about, but you're choosing to dismiss it over a theory that cannot be proven yet. So even though you'll listen to the science that is there and available and know and to a best part understand it, when it's been relayed to you. But again, there's a lot of kind of things where you can watch these documentaries or fall down these rabbit holes, and I'm not just talking Flat Earth. I'm talking about a lot of different areas. And depending where you are in life, it's easy to fall into it.
And it's harder to get out.
Especially with all this lockdown business where there's been a lot of people sat in isolation, right? Maybe watching these videos where they've gone, do you know what? I've been brainwashed and have been gripped by it, or have kind of started believing the hype,
Look into it, but
when you've got nobody around you to go,
no, you need to look in a different way.
Exactly, or to try and pull you away. During this 18 months of kind of a lot of people being in isolation,
people out there.
There's a lot of people who could have been like literally gripped by a lot of different conspiracy theories, a lot of different fucking scenarios,
and
like
they need to do what we
or a lot of different groups. Do you know, got involved with online and stuff like that.
They need to do what we do. Is like when your head's full of this kind of information, you need to step away or chat it out. You need to step away for a little while and not think about it, and then come back to it, and go away, calculate. That's
why we change it up every from paranormal to aliens to this to that to cryptids to because it's like we end up kind of like sending ourselves under with too much of the same thing. So
some stuff like you have to have a break every now and again to
I think it's time for some ghosts.
And it's like, I've got ghosts on my mind, man.
Right, okay, let's do aliens again. Right, well, I think this is it. We're gonna have to move on because obviously we could talk about all the episodes we've done.
Yeah, we've got a lot more out there.
There was a snippet of just some of the episodes that we've done over the last 3 years. Next week we're going to be going back to our normal format, and we've got an excellent topic for you next week. A brand new one. It's all good. Fresh as a daisy.
Fresh from the chip.
I think we're at episode 45 and 145 next week. Yeah, so we're creeping up on that 150th.
We are, yeah.
I'm sure we've got something good coming up for that.
Of course.
Well, hopefully. Who knows? Hey, who knows?
Yeah.
Doctor Who. So, we've got a promo this week. And this week's promo is from a great podcast, Hop News.
Not Hop News.
Hop Geek News.
Hop Geek News.
Yep.
Sweet.
They're great. If you're interested in movies, Mash and Hoppy discuss news, TV shows, comics, movies, all whilst destroying a couple of beers.
Good lads.
New episodes drop every Tuesday. And here's a promo.
Have you ever found yourself confused about the current state of the MCU or whatever the hell is happening with the DC universe?
Do you often have no idea what the hell the difference is between craft beer and that Bud Ice stuff at the gas station?
Well, then look no further.
We present to you Hops Geek News.
We're yet another geek and beer podcast in an already oversaturated market.
All right. We drink and we pretend we know things.
More often than not, we don't really know things, but we do talk some really great topics, and we most definitely can drink.
We'll deliver you news and then dive into any random topic you might have never knew you actually were passionate about.
With lots of fun facts about beer.
And from Marvel to DC and Star Wars, and to why Die Hard is most definitely a Christmas movie.
Which it is. Basically anything that our spouses are sick of hearing us talk about. Join us on YouTube or anywhere you listen to podcasts.
New episodes weekly. Just search Hops News.
Well, thanks, guys, for dropping in your promo. You can do the same by sending us it over to neverstraightanswer@gmail.com. We'll send you ours. Bit of a swap. It's all good. And yeah, we could promote you for a couple of weeks on the show,
Not a problem.
just like Hop News did.
Yeah.
I'm into all that. I think I'm gonna appear on their show one day.
Yeah.
Over the spooky period coming up.
Why not?
So yeah, look forward to that. So the news. We've got some great news. We've got some news coming up. You just looked at me like, what are you doing, Gaz? What are you doing, Gaz? Making weird noises?
I've got a mystery in here now.
Right, anyway. Yeah, so, without further ado. It's the news! Sorry, I'm just being a bit immature tonight. Well, as per usual, we've scoured it. We got the big brush out. And we give it a big scrub. Tried to find you the best news we could possibly find in about 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
So, when we ain't disappointed, as usual, I found some fucked up stuff. And the world's been a bit of a fucked up place. And I'm going to try and avoid a lot of stuff this week. But I will say, I'm losing track with what's going on in the world at the minute. In the news. It's like, I think God's angry. I mean, if there is a God, I think he's fucking pissed.
Disaster after
something's
disaster,
happening.
man.
Something's going on.
It's like a routine now.
It's like, there was a while there where it was like, nothing happened.
Yeah,
nothing happened at all.
Animals took control back.
No, I'm not talking about then. I'm talking about about 5-10 years ago. Nothing happened. Yeah, we won't even get an earthquake. Yeah, we're out.
Yeah, that's true.
Now it's floods, earthquakes, forest fires.
Never had so much communication. No.
God knows, it's horrible.
Yeah, everything's kicking off, and it seems to be getting worse.
And
not
it was
better.
Friday the 13th yesterday.
Well, yeah, it's a bit of a
rubbish
sticky day.
I don't know. Do you have bad luck on Friday the 13th?
Yeah, I never really. I try not to count Friday the 13th and just have it as a day and just do what I'm doing.
I don't have bad luck actually on Friday the 13th. I genuinely do have an all right day. I think my bad luck's every other day of the year. Yeah. And Friday the 13th, I have a good day.
Yeah, you have a nice one.
But it got me thinking about other parts of the world that I thought, does everybody follow the Friday the 13th thing?
It must do.
Well, they do, but they don't as well.
Right.
Other countries have their own days.
Like what?
Like China, the 4th of April.
Oh, why the 4th?
That's their bad luck day, considered to be the unluckiest day of the year in Chinese culture.
Oh, wow.
Because the number 4 sounds similar to the word death in their thingy.
In their spoken language.
Spoken language, exactly. Spain and Greece consider Tuesday the 13th. Bad luck.
Tuesday the 13th.
Tuesdays,
okay.
You don't be going out on a Tuesday the 13th. But it is the 13th again, so the number 13th does seem to be quite unlucky. But many Greeks have suggested that over the day, Tuesdays, because they say their bad days are Tuesday because of the what is it? Trit, which also means third. And they say goes bad things come in threes.
I thought good things come in threes, bad things come in twos.
Things come in threes. You see, this is the thing about superstition. Sorry if that came out a bit messed up. But Italy is Friday the 17th. Yeah,
right, okay.
and that origins believe that it can be traced back to writing of the number 17 in Roman numerals is XV11.
Right.
So I don't know why that means anything.
Yeah.
And Japan, September the 9th. So that's similar to China, where they consider it to be bad luck because of the way it's written.
Right.
And it resembles something else. India, August the 8th.
August the 8th? What the hell? What was
madness.
wrong then?
This is because the 8 is the number of the Hindu gods.
Right, okay.
Is it Shani or something, the god of karma?
Right, okay. I thought it was
there you
God of
go.
War.
So yeah, loads of bad things.
There is.
But there's always like the conflictions because it's like, what was it? Black
Ours is
cats.
with the devil, isn't it?
Well, black cats is one, right? And people say
under ladders.
Black cats crossing your path is bad luck, but then there's people who say it's good luck.
Yeah, but you got a black cat.
I have.
Good luck or
That's
bad
what
luck.
I thought. I've had bad luck ever
passing you.
since I've had this cat, you know.
You need to get rid then.
I can't. She's too cute.
She is.
She's too cute. Cute
Too
but
violent as well.
stupid.
She'll take you on.
She's cute but stupid. So she's well, I'm not talking about my cat. What am I talking about? Friday the 13th. So I think like black cats have got this dual stigma about them. Is it good luck? Is it bad luck? Friday the 13th.
Never thought of them as good
Never
luck.
had bad luck on Friday the 13th, but a lot of people seem to.
Yeah, I have had bad luck on the 13th. Different.
I don't know. What do you reckon, guys? Have you had your own share of bad luck on Friday the 13th? Have you?
Probably.
Or is it the fact that you're looking out for it because it's Friday the 13th, or you put it down to attribute any bad luck that does happen on just to those days because it happens to be that day?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it?
It's good news. I think it's one of those. I think it all comes down to you personally. If you embrace life and positivity and stuff, and you don't let the Friday the 13th means nothing.
Yeah, going under ladders or what was that? Saluting to
breaking
the
a
magpies.
Breaking a mirror. Another one in terms of good luck is the find a penny, pick it up.
Yeah, I do that.
What happens if you found 5p?
Then
or
you
10
get 5
pence.
good luck.
But that's what I'm saying. Does that give you 10 days good luck?
It probably give good luck to the
£5,
5 people you give it to.
Well, you can't break a 5 pence.
No, but if you give that
split it up into pennies.
if you give that 5p to someone else, then you've had the good luck. Then they get the good luck. Then the next one.
The rhyme goes: find a penny, pick it up.
Yeah.
All day long, you'll have good luck.
Yeah.
Pass it to a special friend.
Yeah.
And your luck will never end.
Yeah. Well, that's a fucking lie.
I know, yeah. I'm always...
Because I found loads of pennies. I have given them away.
All right,
especially at a charity, but still,
Okay, well,
look at the drawing.
Have you seen any news?
I have sad news, actually. Paul Weller. No, not Paul Weller.
Paul Weller?
Paul Heller.
Paul Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
The Canadian former defence minister.
He saw a UFO, didn't he?
He was bringing all the information.
I know he did.
Saying,
He said that he was basically doing all this business before the Pentagon.
Yeah.
He said that we need to get all this out in the open.
Yeah.
And he's passed away, hasn't he?
And that, yeah, and sadly, and it was over a head injury. He had multiple head injury, on an accident. And
seriously? How did he have an accident? He have a fall?
Apparently, he had a fall.
Oh, he was quite a cool chap, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, when you've got a guy coming out who's like, he's got a career in the government, and then comes out on into the world and says,
the news.
"Hey, we're Canadian, we're kind of funky like that. We've seen aliens."
But
it's like, was it just after they legalized pot?
Yeah.
Paul, hell yeah!
He's he was one of the top ones. He was like the amount of information he was bringing out and the amount of proof as well. It was like he was like top of my list, one of mine.
Top guy.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, fucking you will be
R.I.P.
missed.
Feel sorry for his family and that, but
Hey, it's a shame that when it's something like had a bit of a fall and stuff. I mean, it's like.
Well, to be honest, when I looked at it and it actually said several head injuries. I looked at it and I'm thinking.
Do you think there was some suspicious?
I was thinking, could they? If they did, well, they're a bit too late because, like,
I know,
spreading the news
he's been doing
years,
it for time, hasn't he?
Yeah, so it's a bit too late. But, it just made me think, like, several head injuries would say to me that he was more than one
He
fall.
could have fell down the stairs or something.
Well,
I don't want to
true.
speculate.
Yeah,
Obviously, it was like, if we find out what the genuine cause was and it was kind of like... we'll let you know.
It sounds from the first reports that it was a fall.
Bless anyway.
So
I mean, regardless of how it went, he did have strides in the UFO sort of field and culture in terms of putting evidence out there and standing up for getting the truth out there. I found this story. It's so cute, but sort of it's cute, but kind of like in a bit of a sad way. This, so in Siberia, they found a well-preserved lion cub.
Oh, nice.
So it's a little baby lion. Passed away and was frozen in permafrost, bit Captain America. For 28,000 years. So the female cub, named Sparta. May even have traces of her mother's milk inside her.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen here, don't you?
What?
DNA. Straight into a lion, straight into
probably.
A tiger.
It's is he much difference in this one compared to modern day lions and tigers?
If you think about it, because it's in. Don't forget, back then there was more oxygen than there is now.
As well. I mean, was it kind of always? It should have been.
Yeah, it should have been really nice.
There was lions about, weren't they? So
Well, that's it.
Different.
And it also proves it was a flash freeze.
Well,
so
it still had
quick.
fur, internal organs, and skeleton when it was discovered. So it was a perfectly preserved lion cub, remarkably well preserved, in fact. So for 28,000 years, I think it's obvious, and it's still got mother's milk inside it.
Yeah. So
you know what I mean? It's
it's mad, man. It's crazy, but it's good findings. It's you know what I mean. But I hope we just don't abuse what we.
Well, there's no need, is there?
Oh.
Like, I've checked this story out. Yeah, I've got two stories here. Right, that you might find interesting. Because I know you're a collector. Barbie. Has created a new doll. Yeah. It's a scientist doll. It's basically a vaccine scientist. Helping to push the vaccine,
brainwash the kids
about the COVID-19 vaccine, and trying to inspire girls into getting into science, technology, and engineering or math.
No, I don't mind that.
Oh no, not at all. But why does it? Why does it need to be a COVID-19 vaccination doctor?
Shove her in an engineering uniform.
Exactly.
Shove her in a doctor's uniform.
A fucking hard hat and give her a wrench.
It's just one of them. He pisses me off because it's one of them. It's sneaky, underhanded tactics to keep the thing flowing.
I think they've modelled it on this Professor Dame Sarah Gilbert. Yeah, right. It was honoured to be model for the Barbie doll. She works at the University of Oxford.
Okay.
Now, obviously, she's worked on she was basically the project leader in the creation of the COVID-19 vaccine, which was been used in many countries around the world. Professor Gilbert said, "I'm passionate about inspiring the next generation of girls into science, technology, engineering, and math." Getting them into it. I think that's fair enough, but like you say, I mean, it doesn't have to be
COVID. I mean, COVID. That
great if she's been the head researcher on that and all the rest of it. But I mean,
and it's a symbol.
Why couldn't they have done that anyway? Before this.
Exactly. Why do you have to wait until something goes bad before you actually pull up your socks and go? Actually, we might do this. You know what I mean? It's predictable that the governments do this kind of stuff all the time.
Obviously, you want your kids to kind of go into, if you want the kids to go into these fields. She's put, my wish is that my doll will show children a career they may not be aware of, like vaccinologists. It's like, Mummy, I want to be a vaccinologist when I grow up.
I'm sure if she wants to look into
just like me, Barbie,
look into the being a doctor, I'm sure she's going to have the brains and the intelligence
True.
enough to have a look around at the area.
I found this other story about a doctor, a nurse, in fact. She was an ICU nurse.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And now this isn't an advert for your kids.
Oh,
well, I don't know. It's like, it's different strokes, innit?
Well,
so she's saying there's a good career in vaccinology, and being a nurse or whatever. But Ali Ree was working as a nurse in a care unit of a high dependency ward.
Okay.
Obviously, really good at a job. She's been doing it for years. But she's a bit of a good-looking woman, and for her own sort of like personal thing, she was putting pictures up of herself on Instagram.
And
modeling, doing a modeling for Instagram.
Yeah.
Now she used an alias, right? Good. So it shouldn't have affected her work or anything like that, right? But some people at her employment found it.
Snitches.
Right, snitched on her. Right?
Snitches.
And they basically said, she's not done anything wrong, but, it's a bit kind of like, can you refrain from it, tone it down? There was nothing like rude or untoward on it.
Yeah, no.
But later on, she was found to have an OnlyFans page.
Yeah.
Right? So people at a hospital basically subscribed, took screenshots, and then dobbed her in again.
Oh,
right?
Stitches.
She was told to rather, cancel the account, shut it all down, or she would no longer be able to work in the hospital.
That's
right?
bullshit.
At that point, she quit.
Yeah,
right.
Good girl.
She went, no, not having this. Well, apparently she's making 6 figures full time on OnlyFans, raking in up to 75 grand a month.
Oh man. Good girl, that's it. You can do better for yourself. And I suppose
where's her Barbie doll? Oh, that was the original Barbie doll, wasn't it?
And,
shit, sorry.
And this is a thing about how you bring we've been bringing women into higher and higher authorities, and yet soon as you do one thing that
I think women have got the
right to
do that if they want to do that. I mean, it's like I mean,
she weren't posting the NHS over there.
Personally, if it was me or you, people would just be like, "Can you just take it down because it's horrible?"
Yeah, why you don't love my body? I sexy body.
Take it down, Taylor. Right?
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Like, you're definitely not.
I'm on meet me.
His OnlyFans page. But I mean, what I'm getting at is, it's like, if she felt empowered or whatever, she felt like, she wanted to do this for, like, she wanted to do modeling or whatever her reasons for doing it were. Yeah, right. She enjoyed it. She's got the right to do that.
No infliction with
if it's got nothing,
job.
If she's doing a job as well. And, there's no drama there. And she comes in on time and she does a job and she's good at it and she's saving fucking lives in a high dependency ward. Then if she takes a couple of snaps and throws them on OnlyFans or Instagram at the end of the day, who's it harming?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What I meant to say before was about how...
more power to you.
Yeah, oh yeah, totally. How she's been run out, basically.
Yeah,
she's
basically. But you know what? I think that's a lawsuit there because, to be fair, I mean, they've got no right to say that.
Tell her what to do outside of work. She's not bad mouthing him. She's not putting her name out. She's putting their name out.
She's not putting. It's not like she's. In fact, there's been actual cases where people have been laid off for wearing their uniforms on OnlyFans. So, like, if they were a McDonald's employee or a fucking nurse or whatever, where they've been
a fucking idiot
and wore the name badge or wore the company logo.
Yeah, you can't.
And then that's a different story. But I mean, if it's a case that it's out of hours and it's got nothing to do with what your work life is, then it's got nothing to do, has it?
Exactly.
Anyway,
and listen to.
And you can subscribe to my OnlyFans. No, I'm joking. I don't have an OnlyFans.
No, nobody. They cut it down, didn't they, when you seen the picture?
That's what I'm saying. Any news you've seen that you want to talk about?
I have. There's a new The WHO, which is the World Health Organization.
If you didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which actually, we shouldn't be saying it actually because places have been taken down because of saying WHO. Basically, they've given a warning out about an Ebola.
I'm talking about the WHO.
The WHO?
Yeah.
Yeah, I weren't really into him, to be honest myself.
Well, anyway, just in case they're listening.
Yeah. Well, apparently there's an Ebola-like virus that has turned up in
China,
West Africa again.
Really?
Yeah, and it's
they're not having a good time. I hate it today, or was it yesterday? Bloody hell!
Yeah, it's just been it's been. But this, hopefully, they're gonna grip hold of because one guy died of it. This virus out of 4 of them, and they've got their eye on another 55 people. But it's an 88 chance of dying.
Do you not
with
think
blood coming out of your fucking eyes and everything? It's really
don't
vicious.
Don't scare
the people.
people.
I'll scare anyone.
Well, what I'm saying is, do you think that people are more paying attention to this sort of stuff?
So.
Whereas, this sort of thing did happen all the time.
Yeah,
but now that we've had this sort of big fucking problem,
it's been more aware.
People are a bit more kind of, as soon as anything happens where it's like one person comes down with a plague and it's like, shit, there's going to be a plague epidemic.
Yeah.
It's like, actually, I think there's about, what are the stats? In fact, let me tell you. I'll tell you how many people.
Only another month there was a little outbreak in England not that long ago. What was it? Lyme's disease, I think it was. But then that got quarantined. The authorities got there, did the job, and
here we go. Right, from 2010 to 2015. There were 3,248 reported cases worldwide, and 584 deaths from the historic plague, the Black Death.
Yeah, and they've got a cure for that now.
And that's what I mean. It's like that shouldn't be even like that number seems quite high, But that was in 2010 to 2015 when nobody was even paying attention to anything like this,
That's
so true. But those numbers now, if somebody was to come on the news and say, oh, yeah, so 584 people have died worldwide of the plague this year, everyone would go fucking spare.
Yeah.
Well, they probably have, but don't worry.
Well, I won't worry about it. I mean, if it is an Ebola-like kind of thing, don't worry about it, especially if you've had the vaccine.
At the moment, from 2019, they say between 1,000 and 2,000 people get the plague every year. Sounds about right.
It's a handful. But it's actually the cure that they try and use for the Ebola is actually in the vaccine that everyone's using at the minute.
Ebola.
So you might have a little bit of protection through that if it does come out, which I very much doubt because they do a good job on that kind of small
you see, the thing is with these type of diseases though and illnesses is that we know about them. We've known about them for years. They've all the vaccines and medicines that have been developed have been severely tested. They've gone through all the litigation, all the red tape, all the trials. They know exactly what the side effects are. And they know exactly what it does long term. Right. So it's like, I've got no qualms in if they said, oh, we need to give you a Black Death vaccination or we need to give you a fucking Ebola vaccination. I'd probably be like, yeah, sweet. But, when it's...
Battery production, then it was for a virus that should not be living.
There's been actually news this week about the Delta variant saying how, generally speaking, the vaccine that everyone's been given doesn't suppress the transmittability of it. Right? So now my understanding of a vaccine must be very different to the government's because in terms of a vaccination, an immunity or immunization,
and to stop the spread.
I always thought you get that jab and that protects you from getting it, transmitting it. It creates more antibodies to defend you against it, and build your immune system against it. Right? But this doesn't seem to do any of that.
No, it's supposed to be because on the first wave, people were dying. They were getting really, really ill.
Now, I understand it probably
afterwards.
it helps people not to die. Obviously, it gives
Yeah.
people that a certain level of protection.
Yeah.
But now they're saying this Delta variant, it doesn't even, or from first reports, which came out the other day, that potentially it doesn't stop the spread.
No, the spread of that, it will continue.
Yeah, I know, but
it's not designed to do that,
people
and
are
that
still
isn't a
getting
vaccine.
severely ill. I mean, you've just
Yeah.
had Piers Morgan. I know nobody likes him very much, but you know, he likened 21 days in isolation as,
Hell.
being like Tom Hanks in Castaway.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, he
and
wants
how-
to try like the rest of us.
And
out.
I know, yeah, it was like how many. I mean, he got to go to work every morning and stuff,
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Could
but
still
like,
go for his champagne lobster
I know.
later on.
So it's like we've 18 months of it, mate. So fucking count yourself lucky.
Yeah.
So it's like, but he's double jabbed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he still got really ill with the COVID vaccine, the COVID virus.
Yeah.
Now, there was an incident here in Manchester, wasn't there, where somebody, a nurse or a volunteer or whoever it was, I don't know the ins and outs, but they were basically jabbing people with saline.
Yeah, I remember you saying.
Yeah, and I can't remember if it was Manchester, but it was somewhere.
Well,
I think you said somewhere in Manchester, but I don't know.
Yeah, Manchester Hospital. Yeah, we had a problem a number of years ago where someone was going round and plugging in saline.
Oh,
into
yeah,
people
that
and
was
killing
something
them.
else. Yeah, that was that nurse, wasn't it? No, but this is instead of the vaccine. Yeah, so they're basically injecting people who leave in the place. And I don't know if it was Manchester. I'll give you.
It might not have been then. Yeah, it would have been a different story on that one. I mean, if I was to go and get the vaccine, which I ain't planning on to, because the CDC are now turning around saying it's probably 42% probability of working, and they may be side effects later on. They may be. So, if I was you who've had it, I'd start planning on fucking suing them myself. Yeah, because it's a massive...
I don't know, man. It's like there's
massive
with all this
bullshit.
like what was it? The anti-vax movement tried storming the BBC the other day. I think it's
I heard that,
there's a lot of kind of
Well,
ill feeling towards it.
Rebellion's going to start soon as well. They've already said they're going to shut down the...
Well, it is
London
kind of
for a while.
by saying like unless you've been jabbed up, you're not allowed to do anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You basically
It's
kind
unlawful.
of you're almost like you're basically being grounded.
Yeah,
and it's like, well,
We got rid of a man called Hitler because of that kind of shit.
well,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
true
You know what
that.
I mean? And
true
now
that.
we've got thingy in the fluoride in the water as well, which he used to dumb down people. You know what I mean? It's like it really seems like what they had is being brought back, but in a sneaky kind of way. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, moving on from vaccinations
Yes,
and whatnot.
vaccinations. I'd tell you what.
Go on.
Have you heard about the SAS?
I've heard of them.
You
Yeah,
have?
they're very covert, but I have
They
heard of
are,
them.
they are.
I understand that they do exist. Go on.
Yes, they do. And for
Only the toughest men in the fucking world.
hell yeah.
And, well, go on.
Well,
not only men, I believe. Go on, what's the story?
First
Jack and
time, 2 women are training with the SAS to qualify through to
Kung
get
Fu
through.
fucking kick-ass women in the SSS.
Yeah, it's about
SS.
time,
So SAS, so it's fucking hell. That was because
SS,
you were the
yeah.
Hitler chat then.
Well, he is around all these areas.
So they're allowing a couple of I'm going to say lady soldiers into the SAS then.
Yes, the first time they're...
Is this the first time
it's the
ever?
first time,
Seriously?
yeah, I think they tried it in the 90s but decided not to. I think there
Well,
has
they were
been
going to,
discussion.
but they never did.
Yeah, I think they thought the female form couldn't, do better than a man, but obviously...
That's
you
bollocks.
know, yeah, exactly.
Do you know what, right?
You deliver a baby.
Well, I'm not
That's
even
for
that.
one.
I'd say, in terms of pain endurance for torture,
Yeah.
right, you've got that.
fucking
But then
laugh
you've
it off.
also, I'm like I said earlier, mate. It's like women have got like just as much sort of capability in
Everyone should have the exactly same rights as everyone else. No
exceptions.
exceptions. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's the way it should be.
Well, that's what I always said.
They did fuck up though, the SAS, naughty boys and girls down there.
Go on.
Because they it's funny. They advertised for 33 grand job to be an electrician engineer.
Yeah.
But they posted it, which let people know where the computer network operation centre is in Hartford.
Right.
So they did a big.
We'll post
like,
the exact
boo-boo.
address.
Yeah,
no, that's funny actually. What? So it's an intelligence agency that trying to keep secret.
Yeah, but do you know what they were doing? They were actually hacking. They're actually a hacking group for the SAS. They do a lot of hacking through phones and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and the couple of people in a box.
You'll have what's his name, Kiefer Sutherland, coming round
trying 24 hours.
Trying to no. What was his name? Who's doing the what's it? Oh, never mind.
It weren't Kiefer Sutherland.
No, it weren't Kiefer Sutherland.
No.
Whoever I'm thinking of, it weren't Kiefer Sutherland anyway.
Well,
so,
it wasn't. No.
I found this story.
Yeah.
About South Korea.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
What were they up to?
They've created a new toilet. Yeah, right. It's eco-friendly toilet that turns poop into power and digital currency.
What? So I can poop out digital currency?
You're pooping gold, bro. Literally, the more you poop,
well,
the more your money you get.
You know what? You are actually pooping gold.
You've said this before.
Yes.
You're obsessed.
Hey, no, because there's a guy in London he makes like 35 million a year.
Panning shit.
Literally, he pans shit. He's got a massive machine that he goes through. But he makes a ton of money, man. Trust it. There's gold everywhere.
Well, this is BV is an eco-friendly toilet that utilises human excrement to create electricity by generating power. It's basically invented by a professor at South Korean University or National Institute of Science and Technology. Professor Cho Jiao Wen created the BV toilet, which has a vacuum pump that transfers human waste into an underground tank. The waste then is converted into the microorganisms eat away at it, turning it into a biofuel sort of thing.
Yeah.
Then the energy is used to power gas stoves, hot water boilers, and sold as a fuel. Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
so
and the profits go to you for producing.
For producing it. So then it turns into the digital currency. So the biogas is made from around 50 to 70% methane. Yeah. And 30 to 40% carbon dioxide. So.
I think that's a good idea.
So it recycles your waste, converts it into the biogas,
and you get money.
and then you can sell off the excess.
Yeah.
So if you were a big pooper.
You'd be a millionaire by the end of the week.
You'd be selling your crap, selling your gas.
I know someone who shits 5 times a day, so he'd be
straight
raking it.
I think he needs to go to the doctors if that's the case. But yeah, it's pretty cool looking. It just looks like a normal toilet with a bit of a blue light round it.
What, round the rim?
Round the rim.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
So so you can find it in the dark.
Yeah, you don't want to lose that cash.
But yeah, South Korea.
I love it. I think they should bring it over.
I think it's a top idea, to be honest.
Brilliant idea.
You see, I like the idea that, when solar panels came out, there was a lot of if you get solar panels, you can harness the energy of the sun and you can sell some of it back to the energy companies. Because these, you can gain more energy than you need. Yeah. Now, the councils went, fucking good idea that. So they went around knowing that they own all the properties. Put solar panels on all the council owned houses. Owners didn't have a choice, right? All they were doing was utilizing the space they had, generating electricity, and then selling it back to the people who actually who lived in the houses.
Right, back into the people who lived in the house.
In the houses. So they turned around and went, you can join our electricity company, right? But it's like, well, my house, the house I live in, is generating the electricity that you're selling back to me.
Yeah. Well,
so it's a bit of a swizzle.
My auntie had a bit of a problem with one of them where it ended up where because of Europe, she doesn't actually get the money back. It works out. It calculates out wrong that actually
bloody Europe again.
You don't actually get the value of it back because they set the standards of how much
electricity costs or something.
Exactly. So
See.
you don't get anything. But now we're out of Europe.
We can up the price.
We can get some cash in somewhere.
Well, there you go. Have you got any more news before we go into NASA news?
For me
well,
now,
this
mate.
is what I was going to say, because like if you're talking about getting the cash in, NASA have been going to visit. They've been doing a lot of meteorite stuff recently. Yes. Now, apparently, this meteorite in particular, NASA wants to visit. It's an 8,000 quadrillion pound gold asteroid.
Can you say that again?
So an 8,000 quadrillion pound golden asteroid.
That's a lot of moot.
Right? You reckon it could make everyone a bajillionaire? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So NASA is basically being called the golden asteroid, said to be worth about 8,000 quadrillion pounds. This is it's precious metals throughout it. Could make everybody on Earth a billionaire.
Yeah, but
that's
then
how big it is. Bring
it
home, boys. Bring it down.
Yeah,
but then
nice
that's the thing.
Softly.
Yeah, it's like, bring this massive big bar of gold down. You make everyone billionaires and devalue all the gold we've already got, making the economy a fucking big pile of shit.
Yeah, and then the Anunnaki will turn up and take the
it
gold
all
off
away.
us.
Maybe this was gold that they were shipping, and it fell off the back of a lorry.
It might be, because this gold is not pure gold. There's another kind of gold, and you can only find it at Hawaii, and it's really more. It's more expensive as well.
Well, they're looking to send out a probe to is it Sfaichi is what they're calling it.
Sfaichi?
On the 16th. No, is it Sfaichi 16 in 2022? That's what they've called it.
Oh, right. Well, at least they're going to get there pretty early.
To explore the origins of the solar system, the asteroid has been discovered in the 19th century, and is basically nestled between the orbit of Mars and Jupiter. They've said it's to be the size of Greece.
Whoa!
So
that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of gold.
I have a lot of gold.
Wow!
Get that round your neck.
Imagine that Del Boy wearing that round his neck.
Well, the planet would be just gold platinum.
Well, they say, I know, but it's just ridiculous, because, like I say, it'd just be like, well. The only reason why gold's worth anything is because we don't have very much of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. It's a precious metal.
Exactly,
if we've got shit tons of it,
that's why the value goes up and down.
A continent worth or a country's worth. Yeah. It's like.
But we ain't got a lot of gold in it. That's why it's so high. So but then again, people hold gold.
But that's what I'm saying. It kind of demonetizes the value of the gold that's already existing.
So do you reckon then we should actually take it?
Just take a bit.
Just take a little bit. Just for the electronics and
the space rocket is said to be made of solid metal, including gold, platinum, iron, and nickel. In total, the estimated value of the Sfaichi asteroid is up to 8,000 quadrillion pounds. Like I say, enough to make everybody on Earth today a billionaire.
And if they're getting there at 2022, and then let's say another 4 years to make another ship, send it over there.
A guy called Scott Moore, who's the head of Euro Sun Mining, has wanted to basically check it out. He's I think he's involved in the.
So we should then
in the probing. Looks cool.
Right.
In other asteroid news, NASA have just released the odds of this meteorite striking Earth. So not the gold one.
Yeah, no, it's totally different one. What is it, the 2024 or the 2036 one?
I think this 20. So basically, it was just the odds of asteroids include any asteroid hitting us. I think
as we know of.
Yeah, as we know of. So basically, they're saying that there is kind of asteroids that they look at and they check them out, make sure that obviously that nothing's too close that it's going to cause an impact or anything. But the odds went from 2,700 to 1, to last year to 1,750 to 1.
Oh,
so I think the odds have gone up.
Yeah.
In October last year, the space agency successfully landed on the surface of this asteroid.
Yeah.
What is it? Bennu. Yeah, Bennu, as in Bennu.
Ben's new.
Yeah, the surface of it, and taking a lot of data over a 2-day period. So I think that one in particular, they're saying that's the odds. So the odds have actually
increased.
But I doubt they'll still cause an apocalypse or anything like that.
Well, to be honest, the amount of strategy that we've tried to do, they've all failed at the minute.
Just send what's his face in with his drill?
Baldy.
Yeah, Bruce Willis.
Yeah, that's it.
Harry Stamper.
Yeah, get up there and sort it out, son.
He's never missed a deadline.
No.
I know, yeah.
No, but there's always a first.
Oh, he died, didn't he?
Did he die in it?
Yeah.
Oh, you spoiled it. I never seen it.
You never seen Armageddon?
Of course I have. Of course I
have.
have. Sorry, the other
we'll
week.
just have to send AJ instead.
Oh, yeah, but is he going to be a prick or is he going to, have a sensible head now?
He might. Yeah, he might.
Yeah. And is she going with him?
No,
the daughter.
She
might go, oh, I can't let you read this time.
Eating animal crackers. Anyway. Right, well, go on. You've got some NASA news for me.
I have.
Don't choke.
Only choking.
He's choking.
Right, well, it seems...
no apologies or anything, just straight into it.
Yeah, I'm sorry for sending my mucus all over the area.
Spreading his wormy germs.
Well, don't say I never give you nothing.
COVID.
Yeah, more than likely.
Go on.
The saying at the minute...
Who's saying?
Modern
I've
day...
not heard him.
Well, you will now. A modern day Starfleet is emerging right before your eyes at the minute.
Go on. Who's involved? Picard, the lot.
No, Australia, Canada, France, Germany, New Zealand, the UK, and the US are clubbing together to create, this new Star Force. Yeah, it's the start of the Federation.
I can imagine them all as well. Do you know, all in the spacesuits?
Yeah,
all like walking.
Oh no, they're all in the uniform,
doing that sort of like. Well, that's what I'm saying, in the Starfleet uniform, all doing that walk out of a smoky hangar.
Oh yeah,
like in slow motion.
It's just
Angela Merkel and like
well, she ain't got long to be in charge yet. She's gone soon. She is.
Boris Johnson and.
So they did the paperwork and that, and the
what's
start
he called?
UK Space Command.
Biden, all of them, all in the jumpsuits.
All getting ready to go up to space and do it for the man.
Yeah, man.
You do it for your fucking self. That's what you do.
You go and get it ready.
You get it ready. Yeah, you set it up.
You go and get space ready.
Because
we'll be up in a minute.
It was Elon Musk, I think it was, turned around and stated that the first people who go to Mars don't expect to come back.
Oh no, it's one-way trip, innit?
Yeah.
It's like don't
plan an holiday. Yeah.
If you go in, and you stay in. You're not.
Yeah, you're not
back.
leaving. Yeah.
Yeah. So get over it. It's one of them. It's if you rather go and you'll be remembered for life forever.
Yeah. I just want them to turn around and go. Has anyone got any volunteers who want to go? And then I'll write a checklist. Yeah, I want him to go. 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 Yeah, she could go too.
Just hand them in your
just hand in a sheet.
List.
Take them, please.
This is the list of people who've
get rid of all this shit from this planet. Yeah.
Wronged me over the years. Send all these guys.
That's it. What's the use of it otherwise?
Well, it's like that. What's it, isn't it?
I reckon they should send prisoners first, to be honest.
The arcs, do you know, like Hitchhiker's Guide, and they said, oh yeah, we've sent... The world was about to end, so they sent off like all the population in arcs. Yeah. And they put all the best people, the scientists and all the rest of it on the A arc. And then
I watched it the other week.
The B arc was all like the idiots.
Oh, the idiots, yeah. All them fools.
And then with no guidance system, it was just like float them off into space and let them just...
Anywhere and everywhere. See what happens. That's all we can do. Well, talking of suns... We've been warned that a solar storm warning is a big threat for space and our power grids and satellites within the next couple of weeks. Just be aware that your electric might be turned off.
Serious?
And might not ever go back on. Yeah.
What? And never come back.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Don't, because it would not surprise me at the moment. Yeah, if there was a fucking a corona mass ejection.
Yeah. Well,
and you know what people will go? They'll go corona mass ejection.
Yeah.
It's
and we
corona
just had one
again.
We just had one that passed a couple of weeks ago.
We have them
and now
all
we've
the time.
But this one's a close one. The last time it was this close to actually devastating us was 2012. But it has hit us before in 1859.
Before we had electric.
Yeah, exactly. So we had no problem.
It's
and it will hit us again, by the way.
The horse won't start.
Yeah.
And you go, we had a
Give it a
corona
couple
mass
of the
ejection last night. It's like,
all that plasma all over it.
No, yeah.
The
horse-drawn buggies, fucking the electrics have gone.
Burnt down. But,
I can't get on my iPad.
So they reckon that it's quite a threat at the minute, to be honest. But I won't worry about it.
Do you reckon? Do you think like,
at one point or another, it's going to happen that we're going to have an
EMP style event?
Yeah.
Well, I heard that if an EMP actually did occur, then it wouldn't be a case of that, electric could be out for a bit. It would, like you said, it would never come back on.
Well, it is. It's the restart. It's going to take at least 2 to 4 months to restart getting things together. So you got to survive on your own for 2 to 3 months to 4 months.
Anarchy, mate.
Exactly.
Fucking chaos.
That's why the problem is if everything goes down. Yeah, we depend on it on nearly everything.
Well, it is everything because
stupid.
even in terms of communication tools these days, where it's like,
can't fight without anyone seeing it.
You've got. Well, no. I mean, the thing is, it's like everything's the whole infrastructure in terms of everything's electric. It's like. But then again, as well, is that not a good thing in terms of, like, Big Brother's always watching? Yeah. That's another good episode if you want to check that out. It's the Orwellian future, dystopian future. But, like, if... in a lot of ways, it might fuck us up for a bit, but it could be the best thing that ever happened because we wouldn't be monitored as much.
What did I say to you and Jake the other day?
But then again, like you say, it's like if it's taken into martial law and you're looking after yourself for a couple of months, then shit's going to hit the fan.
There's
going to be a lot of
people
problems.
who can't look after themselves as well.
Exactly.
This is where the issue. But this is what I was saying to you the other day about a restart of kind of thing of like to get everything back to, kind of normal.
Be interesting.
It will be interesting, but it will happen one point or another. It will. This is the thing.
Predictions.
We've just got to try and not.
Have we done a Nostradamus episode this year? Oh well, no, it's coming up.
We'll be we haven't. We've done one every year, haven't we?
We've done one a year. We'll be probably coming back to that one in the next couple of months. Going towards Christmas, New Year.
Oh yes, Christmas. I mentioned Christmas now.
So I've got one more NASA story before we close. Have you finished? NASA? You got no more NASA news?
No more NASA, man.
All right. Well, I've got this story about 2 planes in Canada.
All right. Okay.
Right. So, late July, on the 30th, 2 pilots in separate planes, one military, one commercial, reported seeing a mysterious green UFO vanish into the clouds over the Gulf of St. Lawrence,
right,
on the Atlantic coast of Canada. So, according to reports posted on August the 11th, the two Canadian government, or the Canadian government aviation authorities basically identified the incidents as a bright green flying light or flying object that flew into the clouds, then disappeared. The object did not impact any of the flights or data or any of the instruments.
Right.
One of the aircrafts that reported seeing the object was a Canadian military plane flying from a base in Ontario, going to Cologne in Germany. The passenger flight was a KLM Royal Dutch Airlines plane, flying from Boston to Amsterdam, and both totally miles away from each other. Both saw the same object. What do you reckon?
I reckon good observant. Like, we need more of this. We need more and more people turning around and, like, you know. And surprisingly, a couple of years ago, you wouldn't get military pilot or a commercial pilot
coming forward. Yeah, I mean, what do you reckon about the chances of it being a meteorite or a meteor streaking through the sky, like?
Yeah, there's always that possibility, and whatever it is can be.
There was a meteor shower the other night, you know. I don't know if anybody managed to catch it. No, it was late into the night, but there was a meteor shower. If you had clear skies and you were able to see it.
I think I had rain.
We had a bit of overcast.
Yeah.
I did kind of keep popping my head out just to make sure, have a nose.
Yeah, you got one.
But yeah, I mean, obviously the Pentagon report coming out has meant that there's been a big surge in alien sort of kind of UFO
Object
sightings,
spotted.
people spotting them. And
indeed.
I think, like, obviously in this case, there are possibilities that it could have been something else. It
there's always that possibility.
Could have been a meteor rock, could have been a UFO. No one's ruling anything out.
No.
But it's quite cool. Like, I think the progression in the sense that not only was it Canada, which we talked about, Paul Hellyer earlier, about how he was basically bringing stuff out earlier on, saying that we need disclosure. Totally. So when you say about kind of like, it was only a while ago where both pilots and both airlines and military couldn't say anything. So
a lot of pilots got sacked because of it.
Did they really?
Yeah. You couldn't say anything about it. You had to write the report down, and then as I believe it stands, the military, I think, especially in America, you write the report and it goes to the office. But I think they do allow certain ones out, but they don't allow other ones out. If you know what I mean.
Right.
So they're still keeping that little bit of control over it, but majority now are can open up, and it's about time.
Very muff.
Yes.
Well, there you go. I think that's it for us tonight. I think we're coming to the end of the show.
We are.
Thank you for joining us for this week's birthday episode.
Yes, it's
part 2.
Part
2.
Yeah, I was going to say 2. Yeah. Part 2.
I know it's been a bit of a weird one. But we'll be back to our normal format next week. We've got more What's Fucked Up Where You're From. We've got a great topic. We're going to be loaded up with guests coming in the next couple of weeks. So something to look forward to. If you've got any comments, queries, or suggestions,
then you know what to do.
Exactly. You can send us an email at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com. You can go over on our social media and hit us up on the direct message.
Come on over.
Very approachable.
We are.
Ask us a question. Tell us a joke.
We'll tell you no lies.
You like that guy? Do you know, like the two door knockers in Labyrinth?
Oh, yeah.
It's like one of us always lies and one of us always tells the truth. The truth.
The truth.
So, we're available on all podcast platforms, wherever you get your podcast, even YouTube, all that good stuff.
Everywhere.
iTunes, Spotify, we're all over the show. Yeah. You can go over to the website at neverastraightanswer.co.uk. As everything's under one roof, you can get merch, help support, downloadable content, videos, blogs.
Catalogue of
everything.
All our shows.
Everything
there.
See, this is it. I was watching this thing the other day about kind of people going, if you only put like a couple of episodes on your stream, you can kind of like monetize the rest of them and tell people that you've got the full back catalogue. Yeah, everyone gets our free back catalogue.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Naughty, mate.
You want the back catalogue? It's there. Go and get it.
Free as a bird.
Listen to us all ramble on for hours on end.
See what we were like back then to what we are now.
It's like there's a million years worth of content. Go and listen. Million years worth.
Hey, well, I'll tell you what. If we ever have a blackout, I've got something to listen to.
Nah, because if
electric. Yeah. Oh, damn.
Tell you what. In preparation for the blackout, start downloading all the episodes now.
You need quite a few gig. I would have thought.
I'd say. Well, like I say, that's the end of the episode. We'll be back next week for episode 145.
Oh, close.
It's all good.
Close
right.
To 150.
Right, we could ramble on for ages, but that's the end of the show.
It is.
I've been Gaz.
I've been Taylor.
And we've been the Never Straight Answer podcast. We'll catch you next time. Peace.
Out.